What's up, space pirates? This is your captain, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And you know, nothing says we don't understand fans of Doctor Who quite like trying to sell people a sonic screwdriver replica that looks like a freaking shoe, which is what they're doing right here.
What the hell am I looking at?
This is one of the worst looking designs I have ever seen. The sonic screwdriver used to be an iconic looking piece of science fiction that every Whovian wanted to own, but these days they have turned the design into an absolute joke. And based on the comments that I see on Twitter in response to this thing's announcement, this product will sell about as well as you'd expect, being something that came from the lowest rated season of Doctor Who of all time.
Do people not like me?
But the fact that this recent season of Doctor Who was categorically rejected by the vast majority of Whovians won't prevent the fools in the media from trying their best to gaslight us into thinking that this was a popular show. We've got Deadline here telling us that British TV shows are doing exceptionally well in the US, and right under that headline they have a picture of one of the more controversial relationships in this despised Doctor Who season, which featured Ncuti Gatwa, the new Doctor Who, or as I like to call him, Doctor.
What the hell is even that?
Anyway, this article shows Ncuti getting all romantic with this male character in an episode that is trying to ride the popularity of Bridgerton, and coincidentally, the British TV shows that they're bragging about doing well in the US will absolutely include Bridgerton, and not Doctor Who, because the Doctor's new season aired in May and June, in a time when there was comparatively little competition from new shows, especially for fans of sci-fi, and still not even a single episode of this show cracked the Nielsen top 10, to the point that now rumors are swirling that Disney is considering dropping the show from Disney Plus after their contract runs out.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to refer to it as these days. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. But alright, let's talk about Doctor Who and how the media is trying so desperately to make it seem like this show is representative of the British media that people in the US are consuming these days. I mean, there's a reason that the folks at Deadline, who are ideologically possessed access media types, but there's a reason that they will have chosen this picture here, showing Ncuti Gatwa and his romantic interest from the Bridgerton rip-off episode. They did it precisely because everyone who knows anything about the new Doctor Who material will be familiar with this relationship. And to be clear, people weren't upset so much that the Doctor was having a gay relationship. I personally don't actually give a shit about characters being gay. The problem is that they changed the character's personality to fit their ideological worldview. In a very infamous scene from this episode, the Doctor is weeping like a little girl with a skin knee. That, in and of itself, is out of character, and he gets all affectionate and lovey-dovey with this guy, and they have a big old kiss. And, considering the typically stoic exterior that the Doctor shows all the time, and the notoriously asexual nature of the character, people mocked the hell out of this scene. So yeah, Deadline was definitely attempting to make it seem like this material here, the Doctor, now fitting the mold that they've tried to push him into, they're attempting to imply with this headline that this stuff is what is popular. But let's read the actual article to see what they're trying to say. The headline says, "Sales of British TV shows hit record US high." And then the article says, "Sales of British shows to the US hit a record high last year as American buyers looked to stock the shelves with content, according to PAC's latest UK TV exports report." UK distributor revenues from the US shot up by 13% during what was a challenging 2023, with turnover tumbling from nations like China and Japan. This was comfortably the highest total from US buyers. PACT, which represents hundreds of UK indies, said the figures show that the US remains the region of primary focus for UK distributors. Despite the specific challenges coming from the US market, in the last 24 months, the US continues to be the largest destination for TV exports, added the body. Shows flagged by the report that performed well included Doctor Who, which kickstarted its BBC Disney Plus regeneration, and then they list a few more shows. But once again, the way they are framing this makes it sound as though this new version of the show is what did well, when in fact, that show, that new season that is, never even cracked the top 10 of the Nielsen streaming charts. That is damning as hell for a show with the pedigree of Doctor Who. What's more, this article says that Doctor Who as a franchise was being tagged in this report, and to be clear, I have no doubt that old seasons of Doctor Who might have done very well, but clearly the crap that they put on Disney Plus did not fare very well at all, because they are completely out of touch with Whovians, as evidenced by the very stupid sonic screwdriver shoe design that everyone hates. No, the sort of show that did show up in the Nielsen Top 10 many times this year is Bridgerton. There are absolutely British shows that have been very successful in the US, because the thing is, as this article actually eventually states, the writer's strike in Hollywood actually left a major gap on many of the streaming platforms this year for new content, and these platforms looked to British shows in order to fill that gap. One thing that they aren't necessarily clear about here in the article is that the numbers they're discussing here are platforms like Disney Plus, like Netflix. These numbers are showcasing these platforms purchasing content from the UK for people to watch, but it doesn't necessarily correlate with viewership. So, once again, showing the Doctor embracing his boyfriend at the top of this article is just them social engineering. They really want you to infer that this stuff was popular, but after Ncuti Gatwa told his audience to go touch grass, well, that is what Whovians did. In the UK, his season was the lowest rated in the history of the show, and in the US, it didn't even manage to crack the top 10 on the Nielsen charts. The fact that Deadline even feels the need to do this, to show this new version of Doctor Who, despite the fact that New Who has been wildly, demonstrably unpopular, that tells us how badly Doctor Who has performed and how desperate they are to change that perception. In any event, I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of these propagandists into the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of